Alrighty, we are back with Truth 101. We are on video 3, Bible versions. We touched on the different Bible versions in video 2 regarding the Bible study tools. I just wanted to briefly say a little more about the Bible versions. As you saw before, there are many Bible versions, or many versions of the Bible. For the most part, they are different translations of scripture. However, I have found that some versions omit verses and even chapters of scripture, and others change the words so drastically that it completely dilutes or reverses the meaning. So, in other words, there are some versions or some verses or chapters that you read within different versions that will say the exact opposite of what other versions say. And so just be aware of that. For that reason, I use the King James Version as my main source of scripture because it is the oldest English translation, and I refer to the other versions when necessary, such as I mentioned before, such as Young's literal translation and the Hebrew Names Version for added insight or to get additional information, such as the Hebrew names of different biblical characters. While the Young's literal translation provides a more raw translation of scripture where not as much has been done to it to make it pretty or to make it sound good. So that way I can draw some of my own conclusions about the intended message of the original text. If you use the Blue Letter Bible app on your phone, you can look at multiple versions at the same time. And so you can display two different versions of the Bible side by side on your phone in the Blue Letter Bible app. I have the King James Version and the Young's Literal Translation, for example, side by side. And that way, as I'm studying, I can kind of compare the two and draw some of my own conclusions that way when my other resources such as Strong's or the lexicon are not as easily available. And so sometimes I do that. The absolute best way to read the Bible, however, is in its original language. But for now, we'll use all the tools and resources that we have available to us to decipher what the original text was trying to tell us. And that is all that I have on Bible versions. Our next video, video 4, is regarding canonized versus non-canonized and the Apocrypha. Please stay tuned for that video, and you have a great one.